Hi, my name is Tashi, and you're watching Beauty in the Bar. Hey, so today I want to talk about the face products that I bought in 2020. This has turned into a bit of a series. Quick rundown: 2018, replacement only no buy. 2019, putting my foot back in the water of purchasing makeup and skincare. And 2020, loosening the purse strings, losing my mind basically. So this is the year 2021 and I am on a replacement only no buy once again, basically a complete no buy because I have absolutely everything I can need. And I'm just seeing what I can use up in a year. But in the meantime, I wanted to go back and think through the things that I had bought in 2020 and how I felt about them. So I had bought so many things in 2020 that I split it up into 3 videos. I've already discussed lips and eyes, and now I'm going to go through face. So if you want to see what I spent my money on, hear what I think about the products, some are old, some are new, most in this video are old, but I just buy kind of what I'm interested in, so not all of these are going to be like new to market products. If you want to see my thoughts on those, keep watching, like, subscribe, share if you want me to make more videos, because I like filming, but I hate editing, so I need the external motivation. That's it. Thanks. Let's get started. Okay. Oh yeah. So I think I will start with primer, I guess. So the primer that I purchased in last year, the year 2020, is the Boscia Porefecting White Charcoal Mattifying Treatment Primer. I love this. I've used up a tube of this, or maybe 2 before. I think it is the best primer for people with oily skin. It really mattifies. I have very oily skin. I use niacinamide, so that really takes down the oil, but generally I have extremely oily skin. So this works better than any other mattifying primer that I've tried. I think it kind of like packs itself into your pores. It's almost like deodorant for your face, like the way that deodorant doesn't let your underarm sweat, or like antiperspirant for your face, like the way that antiperspirant doesn't let your underarm sweat, this doesn't let your pores create or eke out sebum. But it doesn't clog pores, it doesn't break me out or anything, but yeah, it makes my makeup last way longer. So I really enjoy this. I'm glad that I have it again, and I probably will keep buying it because I think it's a good value. I think it's $38, but I got it on a sale. It is a little bit expensive for a primer, but if you're like me, the oil breaks up your makeup so much that it's worth it to have something that makes your makeup last. So I don't regret this at all. I would go back and buy it again. Okay, so that's something that I bought, and I guess I'll move on to base products, which, oh buddy, did I go crazy in the year 2020. So one of the first things I bought was this Garnier Skin Renew Miracle Skin Perfector for combination to oily skin in the color Deep. It's BB cream. I've had this before. I've used up an entire bottle. It's very liquidy and it transfers a lot, so that's why I didn't immediately repurchase it. But I just kind of missed it. I wanted something lighter, and this is extremely full coverage, but very like thin and light at the same time on the skin. And I get compliments when I wear this a lot that my skin looks great because people don't know that it's makeup, and that was something I was going for. My skin was feeling a little bit dehydrated, so I kind of paused using my niacinamide and wanted to use something that was a little bit more hydrating, because I usually pretty much only buy matte foundations because I have very oily skin. The only issue with this product is that it does not come in a lot of shades. I feel like there's like 3 or 4 shades, so you have to be just lucky enough to fit into one of those shades. But if you are, this is a great product. And it's not expensive. I think it's like $10, maybe $12 or something, and the tube lasts a really long time because it's so liquidy and you need such a thin layer to get it on. It does transfer like crazy though, so I definitely have to powder it down, and even then it's going to transfer. So when I was in an office touching all kinds of white papers, I couldn't wear this, but being home and just and like going out, this is great. It has SPF 20, which is not a lot, but it's nice. It's a nice addition. Another foundation I bought, the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I really, really like this. I think it gives a really, really nice finish. I saw my friend Lola, who I'll link below on Instagram, post about this, and it looks so beautiful that I had to try it. I have the shade Moria, which is a, I think, medium deep shade for neutral undertones. And it's really, really nice. It's kind of pricey, but I think it's worth it. It's the pricey foundation that I would buy this again. I would go back in time and buy this again, even though I have too much foundation. If I could only keep one or two of those, this would be one of them. It's my favorite foundation that I have right now. So another foundation that I bought, the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation in the shade, it doesn't have the shade on here actually, but I know that I'm the shade Maple. So Becca's going out of business this year, which my jaw was on the floor when I saw that on their Instagram, because they are a brand that I really like and I felt like a really big contender, and I'm shocked. They're going out of business in September 2020. I bought this on sale at Sephora. September 2021 is when they're going out of business. I bought this on sale at Sephora in 2020. It's usually $44, but it was half off for $22, and I had used up a full bottle of this before and really liked it. So I decided to just go ahead and grab it in the shade that I knew is my shade. The only bad thing I will say, well, okay, so first of all, this is a very thick foundation. If you don't like something that feels thick on your skin, if that bothers you, this might not be the one for you. That doesn't bother me. I obviously sometimes like a thinner foundation, but I'm fine with feeling like there's frosting on my face. It is what it is. It's got great coverage. It's a really nice finish. It's, you know, very beautiful. Feels very luxury. But what I don't love is there was a scandal when this product came out that I always think of, which is that my shade actually in particular was initially called Tobacco, and now it is called Maple. So once people flagged it, they fixed it, they changed the shade name. But yeah, that does kind of stick in the back of my mind. That like wasn't great, but I'm glad that they fixed it and apologized, because yeah, that's an interesting choice to choose for a shade name. But overall, I think it's a great foundation. I'm pretty sure, I would guess that Becca's going to be doing sales in the coming months, and I think this might still be on sale right now on Sephora for half price, so pick it up if you can. It's your last chance, and I think it's a good foundation. Is this the last one? Yes, the last foundation that I bought is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, the matte, original matte, in the shade 375C Toffee / Pecan. I really like this. The reason I wanted to try it is because I was just curious. I kept seeing people talk about the E.l.f. foundation and this one as being very good, and I was like, how can a $6 foundation really be a good foundation? Like $6, like I've had drugstore foundations and I've been none too impressed, especially with the shade match, but just in general with the formulas. I did not like the E.l.f. one. I returned it. So that is something I bought in 2020, but I returned because I thought it was just awful. But this one I really, really like. It's really nice. I think it's competitive with some higher end foundations. Do I like it as much as the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation? That's like $45. No, but if I was ever in a pinch, I was traveling and I needed to like grab something from the drugstore that I know is gonna work and look nice, I'm really not mad at it. I would buy this again. If you want to try that like foundation trick where you're like pouring tons of foundation over your face, this seems like the kind of product to try that with, because every time I see those videos, all I think about is how much must cost in product. But for a $6 foundation, the only thing, and it's a great shade match actually for me, and I was able to find it pretty easily. The way that they describe it lets you know kind of like the tone and the undertones, and then You can use Find Nation, the foundation shade matcher online, to try to find your shade. This is a great shade match for me. The only thing I don't like is the applicator. It's not a pump, it's like this spatula. I don't love that. I don't understand it, and I won't respond to it. That's all on that. I got one concealer in 2020. It's the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, satin finish in the shade Tan Sand, which is a shade or two lighter than my skin tone. I really like this. It's not as full coverage as I would like, but I was watching Kelly Gooch here on YouTube, and she was saying that if you just let it sit and let it dry a little bit, get a little tacky, it bumps up the coverage, and I found that to be very true. I really didn't like this until I did that, and now I'm like, amazing, sensational. I think it's definitely competitive with high-end concealers. I don't have any issues with it. It is pretty hydrating. It, like I said, if you leave it tacky, is pretty full coverage, and it's only $6, so you cannot be mad at that. Right now I'm working my way through the big like Too Faced Born This Way concealer, but I won't be purchasing from Too Faced in the future. I bought that, I think, back in 2018 as a replacement maybe, and it's such a huge bottle that it takes forever to use. It's like the only highlighting concealer I've been using this entire time, and I still probably have at least a third of the bottle left. But the owners of Too Faced have done and said some questionable things. You know, you guys can look up the Rich Lives Matter cake if you like and find out about that. But I won't be purchasing from Too Faced, so I was looking for a new concealer, hopefully an affordable one. I like the Maybelline Age Rewind, so I was thinking of picking that up. But I wanted to give this a try, and I'm impressed. I would go back in time and get this. They can have my $6. Okay, what's next? Blushes. Okay, so I bought the Rare Beauty, the little set of minis that has 2 lip colors and 2 mini blushes, and I'm so glad that I did because I really like these blushes. The first color is Joy and the second one is Love. I find that these are not the easiest to blend out, but also not the hardest to blend out. And I think people think these are super pigmented and pack a big punch. I feel like on a deeper skin tone, that's actually not the case. I feel like I hear so many people saying, oh, you know, I should have just used 1 dot, but I used a ton, and now I've made a mistake. And I have the full size one in Faith, which is a berry toned color, and I just haven't found that to be the case with my skin tone. I do find I need multiple dots, which is fine with me, but yeah, just throwing that out there. The packaging is a little tiny bit messy on these kinds of rare products, but they're made for people who have physical disabilities with their hands, where they have difficulty grabbing onto something. So I think that's definitely worth a little bit of mess, and it's really not that messy. It's kind of like if you take the stopper out of your usual products, that's the level of like messiness. That's what it really feels like, because the opening is just a bit wider. Overall, just really pretty colors. I really like them. I'm glad I got minis because I do feel like I can finish these. The Love is like a terracotta shade, and Joy is like a peach kind of a shade. So really enjoying those. Definitely would go back in time and get those again. Okay, the other blush that I bought for myself is the Wet n Wild Hello Halo Blushlighter in Flash Me. Looks like this. I have another Wet n Wild highlighter. It's like one of the sweetheart, like jewel diamond. I don't know how to explain it. It's got like a heart in it. It's very pink. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Every time I wear it, I get compliments. I get asked what I'm wearing. So I wanted to try another Wet n Wild highlighter, and this was super cheap. I don't know how much it was, but I don't think it was more than $5. And it's got a blush on one side that's sort of shimmery, and then a highlighter on the other. And I like both. I think the blush is beautiful. I think the highlighter is beautiful. I don't necessarily know that I needed to get this in retrospect, but I really like both of them, and they're very impressive. Not just for the price, even compared to high-end products, but they're very impressive, period, and especially impressive for the price. So if you've not tried a Wet n Wild highlighter, powder highlighter at least, I highly recommend them. Would give my money again if given the opportunity. Okay, and setting sprays that I purchased for myself. The first is actually I bought 2 bottles of the Urban Decay De-Slick makeup setting spray oil control. I love this. I feel like it's one of the best things I found in 2020. It really does keep down the oil and set your makeup, but it doesn't make your face feel dry. It does give you that mist and that blurring and setting effect that the original does. I think people weren't too excited about or impressed by the new formulations of the original all-nighter setting spray because I feel like a lot of them have been on sale. They came out with a bunch of different ones at the same time, but I picked this up in the mini size and then I picked another one up at a later time. I can't remember why, honestly, but the first one was $15. I think this one there was like some deal going on, or I can't really exactly remember how and why I bought this, but I think maybe I was like getting a gift for a friend and I was like, oh, I'll meet the minimum by just like throwing this in the cart because I know I like this, and I was already like halfway through this one. So this one does not have much left in it. And I'll be moving on to this one soon, and I recommend it. I would go back and spend the money. The other thing I bought is the Kate Somerville UncompliKated SPF 50 Soft Focus Makeup Setting Spray. I really like this. I know people have mixed feelings about it. Not everybody loves it because it is an aerosol, like a straight up, hairspray, sunscreen type aerosol, and it smells very chemically and very strong. But I like that it's giving me a lot of SPF, and then also I get compliments when I wear this. People have asked me, how my makeup is like so blurred. I think it really does give kind of a airbrushed like blurring effect. So I love wearing this, especially if I know I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the sun, if I'm doing my makeup and like going on a boat or going to the beach, which I have done in the past, in the before times. I really like this. I already had a bottle of it. I bought it because I think it went on sale for maybe half off, and I was like, yes, I will be scooping that up. It is a higher end product. It is kind of expensive. I can't remember how much it is, but whatever it was, I think it's worth it. It's not that expensive. $30, maybe $40. It's not cheap, but it's not crazy expensive, and at half off it was a really good price. I haven't finished the last one that I have. It's hard to tell how much is left. I can only kind of tell by comparing the weight, but I think I'm probably halfway done with that one. So I have finished a full one of this in the past, so that's my second tube jar spray can that I'm working on, and this will be the third, and I'm not mad about it. I recommend it. I've recommended it to friends as well. They bought it, and it is, I think they like it. I don't know. I haven't heard any complaints. Okay, so tools that I bought myself. This is dirty because I used it today multiple times. It's the Sonia Kashuk sponge. I wanted something to replace my beauty blender that wasn't going to be too expensive because I found I don't like paying $20 for a sponge every like 6 months. But I don't like this as much as the beauty blender. It's denser and firmer. I don't think it does a pretty good job, but not as good a job as the beauty blender. I miss my beauty blender. It's also bigger than the beauty blender, which I liked at first because it made blending faster, but I'm kind of not loving for kind of like getting in the nooks and crannies of my face. So this is what it is. And it also, I bought a 2-for-1 pack, and the last one is already torn up on me, and this one is starting to tear up on me. So I think it is like a replace every 6 months, but it's like $5 a sponge as opposed to $20 a sponge. But I might get the beauty blender again when this dies on me, because so far I can't find anything that beats it. It's just, yes, it's expensive, but it's the thing I use to do so many things. Like when I look at the tools that I use like one brush for each thing except for this. Like this I use to put on my foundation, my concealer. If I use cream bronzer, I usually put it on with this. Cream blush, cream highlight, I'll usually use my fingers, but cream blush to blend that out. Like I just think it's it's a really good multitasker, so maybe it's worth. Anyway, I'm not mad I got this. It was a nice try, but I'm not gonna buy this again. I would try a different sponge or go back to the Beauty Blender. So, and the last tool I bought myself, there's not even a name on it. I got this from Daiso, the like Korean dollar store. It's a $3 blush brush. I mean, not blush brush, powder brush. I wish I could tell you more about it, but it's good. Like, I'm not mad at it. I haven't had any issues with shedding. It's very easy to clean. It does the job. Yeah, I mean, I have a Sephora powder brush that I like about equal to this. That was, I don't know how expensive, but I'm guessing $20 plus, like way more expensive. And this, $3. Nothing to be mad at. Would definitely buy again. I rotate, you know, like if this is dirty, I'll use another one and vice versa. So, and it's not like my Sephora brush is dirty, so I'll use this, but I'm really wishing that my Sephora brush was clean. It's like whichever. So, moving into the face products that I didn't purchase but received in 2020. This primer, the silicone-free priming moisturizer from Good Molecules. I've been using this almost every time I do my makeup for a while because my skin's been uncharacteristically dry. I think because I spent some time in Vegas with my family and it's really dry out there, and also because I have been using niacinamide and that's making my skin not oily, which is good, but maybe a little too not oily. So I took a pause from it, but generally I've been using this. It's really nice. I don't think that it's super special, but it does hydrate my skin, and it was a free sample. That's how I got it. Okay, another primer, the Fenty Beauty Mattifying or True Matte Pro Filter Mattifying Primer. I wanted to try this because I wanted to just try a different mattifying primer, and I'm always down to try a Fenty product. My friend got this for me. It's a mini, and I really like it. I don't think it's as dense, as fulsome as the Boscia mattifying primer, but it is nice. If I had to purchase a primer, I would still get the Boscia one. But this one's a little cheaper, and I think it does a pretty good job. And I've used it multiple times, and I don't have any complaints. I just think I happen to have found something that's a little bit better. Okay, brows. I didn't buy any brow products, but I did receive a couple of brow products. So a free gift with purchase that I got from E.l.f. is this clear brow and lash mascara. I've not tried this yet. I will have to circle back and let you know what I think because I'm still working on so many mascaras and brow products, but I like the idea of it. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have anything to say about that yet. Even by now that it's March, I still haven't broken that open. And same for this Anastasia brow definer in ebony, but I have tried this before, and I like it. I tend to like triangle brow products a little bit more than micro tips because I have pretty sparse brows and not a lot of patience. So I don't want to like go in and fill in each little brow hair, even though I should, especially now that my brow waxing is like not really happening. You're probably looking at my brows right now and wondering what's going on, and that's what's going on. So I would like a micro tip pen, but for now I'm using, it's one of those triangular tips. It's like Anastasia's version of the triangular tip where the brow is their micro tip. And I think it's perfectly lovely. It's just, you can find cheaper. I'm using a Kiko Milano one right now, which is I think an Italian brand, but a very affordable Italian brand. It's similar to NYX, and they sell it. There's stores here in California. I don't know if there's stores in other places, but certainly it's available online. And that's, I mean, it's not quite as creamy, but I think it works just as well. Okay, and one blush, the Rare Beauty Faith Blush. This is the full size. Okay, so it's a nice color, but it's not unique at all. It's just like a very standard, like purple berry. It is very difficult to blend, And I haven't found that issue with the minis of Joy and Love that I had, but for some reason I'm finding this, maybe because purples are hard to formulate, I'm finding this shade very hard to blend, and it does not play well with others. So that's been a struggle because I want to layer highlight over it, sometimes cream highlight, and that just doesn't work. It's kind of like if you're going to do this, powder products on top only. I do feel like I've ruined my makeup a time or two with this because it's so hard to blend out, and I've, you know, tried with different tools. I tried with my hands, I tried with a brush. I think a sponge works best because you can kind of like put some moisture into it to kind of move it around, but overall I like it, but it's kind of hard to work with. I would not buy this. I wouldn't buy this shade. The product and the other shades is lovely. It's just this shade for some reason is not my jam. And then the last thing I have as far as face that I got in 2020 is the Rare Beauty Outshine Liquid Luminizer. I really wanted this because I had gotten a mini duo of Becca's Opal highlighter, and I really got it for the powder highlight because that's what I normally go for, but then I also started to use up the liquid one, and I loved how like natural it looked, and it made me really want a liquid highlighter. I was really interested in Rare, so I wanted this. My best friend got it for me along with the Faith blush, and it's a beautiful like golden color. I don't think this is like especially unique. It's kind of like a yellowy gold, but it's really pretty, but on the face it doesn't like blend in well or blend out well. I don't know, maybe it's too deep for me, but that can't be because I use the Fenty Flash Money eyeshadow, which is a deeper, like even yellower gold. Maybe it's too cool toned, I don't know. It doesn't really blend in, and this is another product that I don't think plays well with others. When I try to use these two together, it's a disaster. This totally lifts up, and this kind of just sits in one spot and is hard to blend out. So I really wish this was like a mini at least, because I don't know if I'll be able to use up this whole thing. I might start using it as like a body luminizer and see how I like it that way, because I'm disappointed every time I try to use this as a face highlight, and I'm overall just very disappointed because I was very excited to own this product and really thought that it would like be the ticket for like a natural but still like very glowy highlighted look. Hi, Future Tachi here, just coming at you from not too long in the future because I forgot one product, and normally I would just be over it, but this one is such a gem and so good that I had to go ahead and turn the camera back on to talk about it because it's one of the main things I wanted to talk about, but I had it like elsewhere because I'm using it all the time. It's super dirty because it gets a lot of use, and it's cream and you use it with your fingers. It is the E.l.f. Active Workout Ready Lip and Cheek Palette. I found out about this from Hannah Louise Poston. If you have never seen her videos, you really should. She makes all kinds of content about being really thoughtful about your purchases and intentional about what you bring into your life, and she loves a cream blush. I'm not a big cream blush person, like I had not really experimented with it, but she raved about this palette and it was only $8, so I decided I was just going to go ahead and try it out, and it does not disappoint. You get 4 shades. One is sort of like this berry tone, you get like a brown, which is basically the same color as my skin, so it doesn't really do much for me. This kind of coral, I guess it's more like a terracotta, this kind of coral, and then this highlighting balm. It's beautiful, blendable, easy to use. I cannot believe that this whole thing is $8, and I really wanted to talk about the highlighting balm because I've been using it all the time. This is what I have on my cheeks now, is the terracotta shade with the highlighting balm on top. So natural, so glowy, and I've been seeing clear highlighting balms like this. I know Tower 28 Beauty has one and Danessa Myricks has one, and it's like I see those and I want them, but then I realize that I have something just like that, and I can't imagine liking it more than I like this. So This is still available on e.l.f.'s website. If you see it in stores, I would definitely pick it up. I really think it's like a hidden gem that people should know about. So had to jump in and tell you about this because I love it. I'm obsessed. I'm really happy that the product, I already have dips in the products, but I'm glad. I feel like I still have a lot of use to get out of this. This feels like something I would repurchase if only for the highlighting balm and the ease of use. Like I always, and Hannah talked about this as well, when she just wants something that she knows is just gonna work and just be easy, she picks this up, and I totally get it now. It's like every time you know your cheeks are gonna look nice, every time you know it's gonna be easy, quick, simple, glowy, beautiful. So definitely worth the $8. I would pay, now having it and knowing how nice it is, I would pay 3 times that for this at least. So that's all I have to say about that. Thanks. I'm gonna send you back to cast me to finish out the video. That's all that I have. That's everything for face products that I either bought or received in 2020. That's the end of this series. You see why I didn't make it all one video of things that I got in 2020, because it would have been quite long, and I'm trying to make things a little shorter, and that's what it is. Like this video, subscribe, share, do whatever you want if you want. I would love to have you continue watching and just let me know that this is something I should keep doing, because again, I need the motivation. I need it. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.